Hey guys, so my name is Larissa Valadeo, and as we all know, we are reading the complete Persepolis. So I'm just going to get right to the point of why we are doing these video uploads, and my first one is going to be relational. Right away when I started reading this book, I noticed some things that really correlated to our lives in the United States compared to the book. And this was that when someone new comes into power, how the daily lives of these people changed, and it correlates to us because, as we all know, Donald Trump is now our president, and there are obviously already major things starting to change. In the book, she mentions that the new leader now required the veil to be worn at school. Another example, and I quote, is in 1979, we were in French non-religious schools where boys and girls were together. However, in 1980, when the new person came into power, all bilingual schools were closed down. They are symbols of capitalism. This was another direct quote. Even though I understand it's not a direct correlation, it's still something that relates to us, because we do have a new leader, and there are people who are genuinely afraid and don't really understand how to take this new level and our new president. Things such as the Affordable Care Act have already been set to be removed, and this goes back to my first statement about things changing when someone new comes into power. This change of power and ways of life then leads to revolutions, demonstrations, and protests because the people feel they have a right to do so. Again, this also relates to our country as of now. People are already rioting. They have been since November, since the whole election started to begin, and I feel that it truly does relate to how our country is and the state that we're in. An example from the book, it's on page 39, and I quote, "There is the demonstration, and they ended up shouting day till night when she went with her maid." This just shows a cause and effect. New leader leads to rioting because people don't always agree, and it's fine. You don't have to agree, but there's different ways to go about really how you take care of what you think needs to be done. Another thing that I will mention is, let's see here, how about exploration? And here's Satrapi, I believe is how it's pronounced. She had a completely different mindset than her family. She knew how to think outside of the box in sort of way. Her maid in one part of the book has fallen in love with one of the neighbors, and as soon as he finds out that she is not actually, meaning the maid, the daughter of Satrapi's father, he no longer wants to date her or marry her, continue a relationship. And Satrapi just doesn't understand this. She doesn't understand the difference in their classes, why that's necessary, why her dad is able to drive a Cadillac and other people are not. She thinks people should be equal, and she has that ability to think in a way that most people during this time did not. One final thing is hypothetical. Had Satrapi not always had religion in her life, from the beginning, she mentioned when she was little she wanted to be a prophet, and I think that is extremely important in what kept her okay and really keeping herself together and with her religion during a time of war, and feeling like she wasn't really fitting in, because it kept her grounded and it made her feel like she could get through such a time. So yeah, those are my thoughts. Let me know what you think, and I look forward to hearing from all of you.